The challenge is, at least now in the AI world, it's not the product. The playbook has changed. AI has changed the playbook a lot. The playbook used to be, oh, we need to budget like, I don't know, 50%, 70%, depending on how complicated the product was, a lot of energy into the development.
Start with 0, turn it to 10, lose once, learn, then do it again. No suits, no loans, just hustle that grows. We're the bootstrapped heroes.
Welcome to Bootstrapped Heroes, where we unpack how Bootstrap founders went from 0 to 10K a month and beyond. Today, I have with me Zubair, who I've known for many years. How are you doing, Zubair?
Hi, Lee. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming on. Excited to hear your journey. Obviously, I've sort of seen from the outside what you've achieved. But yeah, excited to hear how you did it. So just before we dive in, can you tell everyone sort of what you do?
Okay, so I help businesses with AI automations and custom software. Although the original background is more helping startups with new MVPs, but we've sort of like landed more into like helping existing businesses with AI automations and just internal custom tools. We can do this odd MVP here and there when asked, but yeah, that's our background.
Nice. And how did you get into that? How long ago was that?
Yeah, so started around COVID. So can't believe it's been 6 years already, 5 to 6 years. Time flies. But I do remember I was asking my neighbor, is like, this COVID, all these like lockdowns and everything, should I leave my job or not? And his advice was pretty interesting. It's like, you know what? Because you're doing it digitally and online, that can boom. Like if you were in person, because his line of work was in person interior design, he got affected massively. But his advice was actually correct in my line of work. I was like, okay, because we did have a COVID sort of like digital spike, which has relaxed a bit now. But yeah, so that was the time when I started. Yeah.
Okay. And did you just quit your job and was like, I'm going to go do this? Or did you start building before you left?
Oh no, that's a long story. Are you sure you want to get into the part before the job? Because the job leaving part, there was a long sort of like build up to it. So
Yeah.
where how far back do I go?
I'll leave that up to you. What do you think people want to know?
Okay, well, one of the constraints. So I'm originally from Pakistan. I moved to the UK for a master's and everything. One of the constraints was we were tied to the employment visa. Okay, so there was like a hard deadline as such, and there's not much you could do with the employment visa. I mean, we tried like I remember trying to apply for an Innovate UK grant, but under my wife's name, kind of thing, because a dependent visa, like there's not much limits there, but just move there. So there was something around that, but I couldn't do something myself. The actual sort of barrier to like, okay, unlocked, you now have permanent residency. And I remember I was like, okay, you know what? I didn't know what I wanted to do as like what business. I knew I don't want to switch from employment to contracting. Okay. And the reason for that was I had two friends who were like, like starting, ending, no holidays and full on contracting and day rate contracting, day rate. I was like, I'm not sure I want to do that. So definitely not that. Then I went to meetup after meetup after meetup. So at the time, data science was trending. So like, you know what, data science. At the time, Salesforce consulting was trending. Okay, Salesforce meetup. Okay. I actually started becoming a Salesforce consultant for a bit. Went through almost the certification path, but didn't actually, for reasons, didn't start that business. Cybersecurity, I went to cybersecurity, tech meetup. So just meetup. And in one of them, I kind of like sort of, somebody mentioned bubble.io and the exact phrase, it was Simon from Million Labs, and the exact phrase was, Bubble is the WordPress for building web apps. And that kind of instantly clicked in my mind. It was like, I know WordPress. Well, I asked you how far back you want to go. We had one WordPress side client, side gig. Don't tell my employers that kind of thing. Technically, my wife was providing this service. So there's a backstory and a build up of like, okay, there was one client, one website we were owning, maintaining, and it was through my cousin's like developer contact in Pakistan, Karachi, who was actually doing the work. But I think one or two times I showed up a little bit late to work because I was having a early coffee breakfast with Chris before I went to work, kind of thing. But yeah, there was a lot of build up there before the okay, time to leave my job kind of thing. I can keep
Yeah,
going.
okay.
I'll talk too much, so you step in if you want me to stop me or not.
So,
Because
so
a lot
you
of
were making revenue before you left your job, is that right?
okay, I remember telling my wife, I'm like, you know what? I think I can make minimum wage this year.
Yeah.
And she was like, yes, every wife wants to hear that from the husband, that you'll be confidently making minimum wage, so I should leave my job, kind of thing. So yes, there were two opportunities. Okay, one was from my previous employer, a gig where not previous employer, a manager at the previous employer. Okay, so he had a project which he could outsource, and I had a specific skill set in that, like, I had previously worked on version 1 of that module, in a sense. Okay, so it was suited to my skill set to like build version 2, but I was outside, and it's like, yeah, he sent an email, I'm like, yes, I want to do something, kind of thing. So I had one WordPress website and one sort of like fixed contract, and that's what like I tallied up the numbers, and I'm like, you know what, I think I can make minimum wage, I should leave my job. Kind of
Nice.
thing. So yeah, that's we still laugh about that statement sometimes.
And then, so how long after leaving your job did it take you to get the business going? How long before you got to like 10 grand a month?
10, so I don't have a precise time. Okay, what I can say, I think it was quite quickly. Okay.
Okay.
We made some mistakes, of course. Every new business makes some mistakes. But I stopped worrying about the revenue very quickly. I think that was because of the space we were in at the time. I don't know this. I didn't know. I didn't realize that. I was the first time business owner, so I didn't realize this, that how lucky I got in that one. Okay. Because the second thing I asked Simon, I was like, okay, you said Bubble is the WordPress for web apps. Is there like demand for gigs or something? Should I learn it? And his response was, there's more demand, less supply, kind of thing.
Nice.
And I didn't, now I realize the value of that statement, kind of thing. Because at the time, especially with the COVID spike, a lot of offline businesses wanted some digital in-house remote. Like, I don't know, there was a gym. It didn't become a client, but all gyms were going online, so they all needed their internal apps. Like a whole bunch of, like, a restaurant wanted an online thing. A whole bunch of like shift to online happened. So everybody wanted apps and cheap and fast, and that was good for Bubble. So you could, at the time, it's like, I'm a Bubble developer, and you'd get something.
And how did that work? Like, how are you getting your name out there? How did you get your first few clients?
First few. Okay, so the first one was through Slack. It was a Slack community, and it was actually that's the first time I was actually pitching that they wanted a WordPress plugin, and I was like, what you're asking, WordPress plugin, custom code, too much headache. Bubble can do it easily, and luckily they did. Good friends now. It was an investment comparison of, like, a simple table with some filters and just click through tracking, not much. The actual, like, but that's sort of an outlier, you could say. The actual one was the Bubble forum was pretty active in the job requests, but there's not that many people responding. Now it's like everybody's responding on them. And at the time, even Calendly was new. Okay. So I distinctly remember one client that he posted a job and he saw like 5 people responding in DMs, but yours had a Calendly link, so I just booked with you. So I don't think I did something. Of course, you throw your kind of arrow in the middle, but like some small things here and there, and they're like, okay, it clicked and got the lead. Bubble had an agency subscription, and at the time they had a very strange mechanism. You could pay $80 to be a Bubble agency, okay, and that's it. You're a Bubble agency, and they would forward leads to you, and they had an automation to forward leads to all agencies. Which is bizarre nowadays, but the volume was so less, or the agency supply was so less that it was not. So it's like 80 a month, click purchase, and ping new request, ping new request, ping new request. It was a lot. So now I realize the value of, like, like this, there is more demand, less supply, just being in
Yeah,
this. So
super interesting. So yeah, so the real key is finding something early that is going to ride a wave like Bubble did, and just riding that wave. And obviously that's not easy to do,
not
yeah,
like as a first, like I don't, now I understand what happened. At the
yeah,
time I didn't understand that this is so good or this is lucky or easy or something. So but yeah, so hired very early on, but in terms of like the deal flow, without much marketing as such, we basically got business in a sense. And of course you
yeah.
have to like do the work, which is a lot of time, learn Bubble. We're learning and doing, making mistakes, like making a web app responsive where it can function from mobile, tablet, desktop. I've spent days doing that. And I remember my wife was like, every time I come into the door, all you're doing is moving your browser window. Like the whole day, all you're doing is just moving your browser. And I was like, I'm testing, I'm checking, I'm tweaking, and testing. I was like, nowadays, you just ask AI, make it responsive. It's like, okay, hold my tea, done. Kind of thing.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah.
a different time and era of app development. And, but yeah, so.
Something you said I found super interesting is that you knew you didn't want to be a contractor. Now that's really interesting because a lot of people I know when they leave their job immediately go into selling their time for money. They essentially become a freelancer or a contractor because of course you want to replace that income as quickly as possible. But once you do that, it's very difficult to then get back out. You've essentially built yourself a job. And I always had the mentality early on in my agency that I wanted to work myself out of the business as soon as possible. I wanted to spend all my time working on it and not in it. And I think within 6 months, I didn't work in the business anymore. I just worked on it. I just replaced myself. What did that look like for you in the early days? How long did you spend actually sort of doing the work, and how quickly did you sort of replace yourself?
So I'd say I'm still stuck in the first 6 months phase that you managed to.
So you are the contractor.
I'm still in a job kind of thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I've got my fingers in too many sort of like delivery oriented things as well. It's not like I'm only working on the business big things. It's definitely gotten better to the point that like software can be a bit complicated. Okay. So I'm more in the managing the estimate, because if it's like a fixed price
yeah,
5 week estimate, and if some mistake happens here and you end up spending 2 months instead of the 5 weeks, the sort of the skill, because I've seen more patterns, more cycles, or more like estimates or something, and I've managed to I've struggled to hire people better than myself. And I've tried, maybe not enough perhaps.
yeah,
Maybe it's just a case of like struggling with hiring, and we've hired a lot and we've let go some. Lots of experimentation, tuning happening there. But definitely there are chunks of time, like mornings I've tried to leave free, like proper 4 hour blocks free, to work on YouTube, the YouTube channel. I've got like that's a focus area, and sort of like referral partnerships, other things which only I can do in terms of working on the business. Of
yeah,
course, something sometimes catches fire and in the business, but I'm trying as much as I can to shrink that.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Anyone that's done lead generation for a software development company knows that it's very hard. So congratulations on managing to get 6 years. That's that's very impressive that you've kept it going at a good level. You mentioned YouTube there. Is that one of your better sort of lead gen channels, or where do your leads come from?
yeah, so I mean, the original stuff I was saying about the bubble just sending leads, well, nothing lasts forever kind of
Yep.
thing. So they changed their mechanism, I think, a little bit once, and nothing appeared. And that was like, I'd say that was like an alarm bell for me, kind of thing. You know what? This is like, I don't have a business. I just have a delivery kind of business. I was like, there's something called marketing that I need to do. And then like inbound sales was easy in terms of like somebody came, was like, I looked at their description, sent a response, call, proposal. That part understand, but marketing in general, like no idea. We just didn't do it. So at the time started LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, basically everything. I think I requested you as well at the time. It's like, let's run cold email campaigns
Yeah.
and ads. Like we just blasted everywhere. But YouTube, and something came from everywhere. Okay, so it's not like nothing happened. So we got some work from Twitter, we got some work from LinkedIn, got some from YouTube. I think the big thing I liked about YouTube was it has a longer sort of like tail in terms of like Twitter just, oh, tweet, half-life gone. LinkedIn post, a week gone.
Yeah.
YouTube has managed like one video. I remember it was the Bubble OpenAI integration one. That particular one gave us like a lot of like, okay, 6 months later, somebody came and was like, oh, we needed a client. It's like, we've got one kind of thing from that. So I think that aspect, you could call it like SEO a little bit in terms of YouTube has an SEO effect. And I don't know, maybe that's me. Okay. But when you are like a minority, like whether it's a sort of like race, like just I'll say it what it is, we're brown kind of thing. Okay. I can say it. I think other people nowadays in the political climate can't say it, but I can say it. I'm brown. Okay. Video cracks the ice, in my opinion, faster. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's like a text post, there's like, oh yeah, just another one of those like 2 billion people. So the video is like, it breaks the ice. Oh, you know what? This guy knows their bubble properly, like proper.
Yeah. Yeah.
The expertise level, I think I can relay more. And maybe the other aspect, I'm comfortable on video. I send Loom videos all the time. I was like, this is just Loom video to everyone. Kind of thing. Let me just record this Loom video to everyone. So yeah, now we're trying to be a bit more strategic about it in terms of like focusing more on YouTube. But yeah, that's has happened. Again, the thing with Bubble is now we're a more generic software agency. So our old playbook, I think with AI, all old playbooks are just broken now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we used to do this, it's not working anymore. Well, because the world has changed, kind of thing. So now we're like more AI automation, custom software, internal tools, and Bubble in general is a little bit like 5 years ago, it was the cutting edge. Okay. AI came and has disrupted their speed. There's new platforms like Lovable, Replit. Things are a bit up in the air. So at the moment, it's not a lead channel. It is the one we're focusing on, kind of thing, to try and figure out. There is always business there. It's just we haven't figured out. Previously, it was like, okay, do something called Bubble plus X, kind of thing. Make a long detailed video expertise about that. We just haven't figured out in the new world of like how to like demonstrate the expertise to get there.
Nice. Cool. Someone else I want to dig into. So, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the UK, with a lot of negativity going around, have considered the Dubai move, but you actually made the Dubai move. So can you tell us a little bit about that? How long ago did you do it and how's that been?
Yeah, so I definitely really like it here. Okay. So there are a few reasons, and I think that it comes down to personal reasons. Everybody's individual circumstances are different. My parents are old, getting older. They're in Pakistan, so I wanted to be close to them. Same with the in-laws side. So, for example, my father-in-law has passed away about like a month ago, and we were close. We were able to at least reach at the time of the funeral. My wife was able to go a little bit before as well. We have had a few trips back and forth there. So that was one personal aspect to it. And the other one, I'll be honest, please don't get offended. Tired of the UK weather.
I think a lot of us are.
The cold
It's
got
January.
to me.
I'm looking outside at the moment. It's,
Yeah.
it's not pretty.
The cold got to me. The heat doesn't bother me personally, okay? Because I grew up in Pakistan. Okay, so yeah, well, it's hot. Okay, like it, like it's hot kind of thing. Keep carrying on. I mean, of course, you can't go on picnics or whatever. But yeah, so all and in terms of general other crime, amenities, kids, playground, safety, security, yes, you only realize that after you've been here for a while how like it's why isn't everywhere secure, doesn't have knife crime kind of thing,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. So yeah, the move has been good. Did you want to dive into some specifics or like how or what? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. Like, obviously the big thing is tax, right? Is it true? Is it easy to move the business there? Does it cost much? Are there anything that people, you're not told up front that maybe you found out later that you have to, pay or you can and can't do?
Yeah, so it's expensive. Okay.
Yeah.
It's tax free in a sense, but there's fees for everything. So depending on the income threshold, you may realize you didn't uh, make much in savings. You may have gotten in quality of life, that's different, but in terms of cash savings, or it dipped a little bit potentially, because you just didn't realize that, oh, the place you wanted to live or the school is expensive or the visa is expensive, the medical insurance you wanted is expensive, the better. So everything is like, okay, coin operated kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, and then you're like, do I want the American hospital or do I want the budget hospital? It's hospital. What if I break a leg? Kind of thing. So it's hard. You can live on a modest lifestyle as well. A lot of people though come to spend and get attracted by other things. Uh, in terms of general guidelines, whatever you budget for, double it. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good ballpark. Budget for something and double it. Okay.
A bit like building software, although I think that's triple it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But yeah, whatever you think of, double it. The annual like company operating, there's no tax, but there's fees. We got fined 10,000 dirhams, and we tried to dispute it, but it didn't work. The thing is, it was a VAT fine that we didn't register for VAT in time. And then it's like, but we don't pay VAT. Apparently, no VAT is different than 0% VAT. So we were supposed to add a line item on all our invoices, 0% VAT.
Oh, wow.
That was crazy. And we just like, oh, well, stop it. It's getting more regulated and everything. Uh,
Yeah, that's super interesting. I guess, everyone's circumstances and income is different. But, I think from the outside, it's very easy to think, you know, I could just save 40 or 50% on my tax and I would earn nearly double. And it's
No, at a
it's not as
certain
simple as
income,
that.
yeah, at a certain income threshold, you'd be like spending the same in fees. Like I've got
Yeah.
a family, so when it's a family with two kids, everything multiplies. The visa, the medical insurance, the Emirates ID. So there is the schooling, nursery. So there's no
Yeah.
NHS. There's no free schooling happening. So like it adds per head count kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not something you realize until you're here. It's like, oh, okay, plus one, kind of thing. But you don't think of like plus one in terms of schooling costs or plus one in terms of NHS costs or visa costs there,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. But all in all, yeah, I guess for the people considering it, they'll be in a certain situation where it's possible. So.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Cool. And what's next for you in the business?
What's next? Yeah, anything AI. Okay. Overall, the software engineering space, AI, like there's billions of pounds being spent to try and replace us, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So just try and replace software engineers. Uh, but how do I put it? I'm gonna have to think of this a while. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Think
That's
of-
all right.
No,
I tell you one thing I'm interested to ask actually. So have you, obviously being a software engineer, you must be tempted all the time to, instead of build products for other people, build them for yourselves. Have you gone down that route?
all the time.
Yeah. And
Yeah, all the time.
what have you learned?
That has its own challenges. Okay.
Yeah.
And the challenge is, at least now in the AI world, it's not the product. So the playbook has changed. AI has changed the playbook a lot. The playbook used to be, oh, we need to budget like, I don't know, 50%, 70%, depending on how complicated the product was, a lot of energy into the development or the engineering or the team or that type of stuff. And no code would try and shrink that a little bit, that you can spend more on marketing, less on development. Now with AI, that has shrunk even more. Okay. So MVP, like getting from zero to MVP, that the budget is like, less now, a lot less now. Okay. The harder part, and that's gotten a little harder. I think you're in that space. I think just capturing attention is harder now. Like any channel you look at, whether it's YouTube or any like cold, all channels are like AI driven, saturated kind of thing. It's hard to stand out and get, like, you can build a great product and you just can't get people to it. So distribution is the main challenge now. So yeah, we do
Super
experiment.
interesting.
Yeah, we do. Like at the moment, we have for 2026, we're trying to think, okay, one experiment per quarter, as to like, okay, and if we see traction, try and double down on it. At the moment, we've built a ChatGPT app. It's pending approval. I don't know if you were aware, but ChatGPT has its own app store now, and within the chat, it will show different UI. So at the moment, chat is just text, right?
Yeah.
But it will show you buttons, a dashboard, a chart, interactive, that type of stuff. And we were trying to, because we're engineers, we try and overcomplicate things. So this time we were intentionally trying to make something simple. So we've made a fitness tracker kind of thing. So just log your food intake, track your goals, track your weight goals, track your exercise, a regular fitness tracker. But you have a ChatGPT thread. You say, I had 2 slices of pizza, and it'll just add it to the app for you and show you a calorie counter. Take a picture, add it, and it'll show you it'll log you. So instead of like the previous steps, like open app, select, add dinner, breakfast, something, take image, and then like wait, load. No, okay, just drop whatever, a voice note into the chat GPT thread, and then you can just talk to all your data as well, go back and forth,
Yeah.
and you have a mini app surfaced within the chat GPT thread as well, which shows you all the data tracked as well, and the LLM has access to it. So it's a new sort of model in a sense, compared to traditional app. That's the current experiment. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, super interesting. So you think I don't know a ton about it, the ChatGPT App Store. Do you think that will ride a big wave like the Apple App Store did?
It's hard to predict. I mean, it's an attempt. It's a very
Yeah.
good, decent attempt. There's some collaboration happening with the big boys. Uh, it's hard to know. Like in the AI
Yeah.
world, it's so hard to predict anything. Like, could you predict last year? Like, we'll have like for example, I post stuff on YouTube. So the thumbnail, the recent few thumbnails are just AI Nano Banana Pro, and it's like, wow, it's
Yeah.
like why, how, like the type of videos being generated now, they're pretty funny as well. Some of them, some of them you see them, they're like strange kind of things, scenarios. But yeah, it's very hard to predict how. And I'd say with AI, people are switching a lot more. They're not wedded to a particular, like, oh, I'm wedded to ChatGPT, oh, I'm wedded to Gemini, I'm wedded to Claude. They'll just go where the next free token investment round thing is. They'll switch it out very quickly, in a sense. It is an opportunity. It may take off. It has a risks. It's risky. It is a risky
Yeah.
place. It is a risky
Yeah.
trade-off.
Makes sense. I'm really intrigued by, as AI has got better at coding, I've obviously tried to, use tools like Reaper and Lovable, but I don't think they're quite there to allow someone non-techie like me to really build something properly, without, the steep learning curve. But I've been really intrigued. I'm like, okay, surely software development agencies like yours must be able to do this a lot more efficiently and therefore charge less, which means I can go to an agency like yours and build something for less. Is that true?
That is true. That's a very true statement. That's a very good thing. If I wear my own business hat on, that's a bit of a bad thing in a sense of, well, we used to build 3 months. We used to need a lead that will keep us for 3 months. Now a business keeps us
Yeah.
busy for 1 month, kind of thing. So from that
Yeah.
perspective, there's a bit of a downside. But from I totally in the consumer side, like the agency perspective, the buyer perspective, yes, the cost of software has shrunk. The cost of
Yeah.
new software has shrunk. Yeah.
But I guess that probably increases the number of experiments people do, the number of different tools they try
Exactly.
to build.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah,
There is an explosion of even niche products.
yeah,
Like no code would enable niche products, but it still had a barrier of entry. Now it's
yeah,
like okay, I want an app that does X, and it's just now the ROI is worth it.
yeah.
It
And
has
internal
like
tools, I would imagine as well, right? A lot of people want to
yeah.
build internal tools. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. We work with lots of companies, and it's funny. I'm very open about it, and I record stuff on YouTube as well, and I want them to learn as well. So somebody on their marketing side is vibe coding an app in. So oh, this example now I remember. They use HubSpot as a CRM, and they wanted to also use the ticketing module of it. Because they're like 50 staff or whatever, the licenses would have cost them like, I don't know, 20,000 a year. And their marketing guy's like, I could vibe code that in a week, kind of thing. And he did. And that's the ticketing software they're using now internally. Okay.
Crazy.
Now, it hasn't happened yet, but the client has told me that we want someone to own this monkey and maintain it afterwards, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we're getting different types of requests. As you said, like explosion of software, but now it's like, I've made this monster Frankenstein. Can you polish it up and then own it and maintain it and grow it? And it's just kind of like, kind of sort of works. So I know this is correct for my business, but as you said, like I can't get it to like production and powering my business or go to market with it. So we get the 50% half-baked cake, and then we have to bake it further and add frosting and garnishing and like make it presentable in a nice box and
Yeah.
go ahead. So the dynamics have shifted slightly in the types of activities we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a very
Nice.
changing space.
Nice. Cool. Awesome. And what content do you consume to stay ahead of the game? What podcasts, books, anything you recommend?
Yeah, so I mean, these days I've definitely watched far too much of Alex Hormozy. I don't know if you maybe
Yeah.
probably lots of business owners are like,
He's
okay,
pretty
this guy.
captivating. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good.
We'll give him that.
Dan Martell, his book on buyback time is really, really good. Definitely recommend it. Because there's definitely the regular business books. But I think his aspect of like, okay, buyback time and also align a bit of values and passion to the time being spent. So for example, I like software engineering. Okay. So sometimes I like what I'm doing, even if that means I'm doing delivery work, kind of thing. Okay, but that's okay, kind of thing. Whereas a traditional business book would be like, no, you have to do X and then Y and
Sure.
then Z and scale and all that stuff. Whereas his is like pretty interesting as well. So those two. Then in terms of like the AI space itself. There are two influencers that come to mind. One is Liam Otley. Have you heard of him? Liam Otley?
No, I don't think so. I'll make a note.
Yeah, Liam Otley and Mark Kashif. These two in the AI space. Like I want to put my name in there, but it's like yeah. But yeah, as far as like AI space goes, these two would be on YouTube and stuff. I don't think there's any book about AI. It will go stale in 2 days.
Take too long. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's shipping from the printers. Oh, it's out of date.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Where can people find you if they want to follow you?
Yeah. So LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So those three. I can share links. You probably have them. But yeah, I
Awesome.
can share links as well. Yeah. And
Cool. We'll
my
pop
email
some.
as well. I don't mind sharing my email address, the business one as well. So happy to.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we'll pop that in the show notes. Awesome. Been an absolute pleasure, Zubair. Good to catch up.
Likewise. Likewise. Thank you very much for having me.
Cheers, man.
Thanks.
Starting with 0, turn it to 10, lose once, learn, then do it